Hey, what's going on? My name is Josh, for those of you who don't know who I am. I hope you guys are all having a terrific day. I want to invite you out to our virtual trading chat room. You can find the link. It's the first link in the description box below. That reroutes you to our Discord server. This is where we announce that we go live each and every day. Now, this is for the purpose we went ahead and actually Vin did in the chat room alerted NVIDIA. We found NVIDIA to be attractive, so we decided to take NVIDIA along. For those new traders or people that wanted to either watch the trade live or they wanted to ask some questions on when we got in or why we took the stock long, we went ahead and answered those questions. So we did a quick recording to kind of show you on what goes on. I hope that you guys may see some value in it. We'd love to help out the trading community. For those of you that are struggling being consistently profitable in the market, this could really help. This could be a game changer for you. I hope to see you guys in there.
At these lows. Does that make sense why, since the stock price would be low, does that make sense why we would find at least the stock price to be attractive at that point?
Oh yeah.
Even if we're not finding anything. So here's where NVIDIA, let me do this. Let me get rid of all my lines and then we can start moving. So up here is where we have sellers, and then down here is where we have buyers at. And then we can just kind of see, for example, the ebb and flow to the stock. Okay? And so what we're looking for is what Vin saw is he goes, okay, we're at a low here in the chart. And then he brought it up and saying that it looked pretty good. And what we're looking for now, since it's at a low, now we look for the same candlestick patterns over and over. We want to just see what kind of patterns are put in. And realistically, we look at the same one. So this would be the pattern we're looking for. Anytime we get like a down bar, for example, where the stock is pushing down, and then we get a retracement above 50%. I mean 50% up the original candle. So anything above the 50%. So if the candle's up like this, that would mean it's a reversal bar or a reversal pattern. Do you remember playing that? That's what we based that one trade off of that you took. Do you remember this scenario right here on what causes the reversal?
It's been a while.
Okay. And so...
But yeah, I've been listening to the candlesticks on the 50% retracement over the last couple of days, so okay, that does make sense, yeah.
So anytime we pass, whether it's a down bar or if we look at an up bar, and then we get a retracement down 50% down the candle, the prior candle, then that would consider itself as a reversal. Because if you think about it, like in a business partnership, right? If you have 49% and the guy has 51%, who makes the calls?
51%.
51%. So if the stock is the same thing, same scenario, if it's 51%, and then in this case the bulls are up, let's say they're up, or I'm sorry, the bears would come back and they're down 51% of the candle. That just means that the bears now have the control.
Right.
Just like in a business relationship or a business partnership. So what we're looking for is this candle right here. Now, there's Trading in a Nutshell goes over how we can add up candlesticks. And so if you don't understand how to add up candlesticks, then this part may be a little difficult. But the point is this candle right here, or this batch of candles, equals this kind of a candle. And we get that. Can you see it okay?
Yeah. Thank you. That did help.
Okay, so if we add up this batch of candlesticks, so we can, if we add these candlesticks up, here's where the body closed, here's where that body opened, but we have that pre-market body all the way up to there. So this would be one big candlestick, and then if we copy the wick to the wick, so the high, So what we're looking for is the high price and then the lowest price. So that would be the range of the candle. And now what we're doing is we're looking for what the next candle does, which would be this green candle here. Okay, that would be the next candle in line. And by just looking at it and knowing the 50% retracement pattern, at this point, is this green candle 50% up this original sell bar? So if this is the original bar,
oh yeah,
this candle is clearly, it's way above, right?
Yeah.
And so here's like that close part. Here would be like the 50. Let's draw on like where the 50% would be on this candle. It'd probably be like right there. And then here is the low of the candle. And then here's the high of the candle. So we're clearly like this green candle right here that's being pointed out by this white arrow is way above. It's retraced almost 100%.
Right.
So now what we're waiting for is we want to see a consolidation sideways. And as long as it doesn't consolidate past the 50%, then we still remain bullish in this trade. As long as it doesn't reclaim this 50%, which means that the bears would own 50% of the shares in that area, or 50% of the company, which means they would make the decision at that point. Since the bulls remained in control and it just consolidated at the top here, and even look how the move started happening pre-market, which I mentioned like it possibly making a move. Now we have at least a pattern that we understand. So going back to the basics real quick, or like kind of what I was talking about. We're at a clear low, which we want to look for. Anytime we start getting to a support or a clear low where the stock continues to bounce. Now we just have to watch on the 3-hour time frame to look for reversal patterns. If we get reversal patterns and a consolidation sideways, then there's a high likelihood chance, or a very high chance, of buyers coming in and pushing it up to the next resistance line.
Okay.
Okay, so we're at lows, and then they'll push it up until more sellers come in, which we called out in the chat room, and we said that this, and the reason why this would be the sell area, is because breaking down the chart would be the same scenario at, say, that if we broke it down in a different way, and we go, last time it pushes up to this 540 area, it got sold back down into 530, and it did that several times. So if we look at this candlestick, it pushed up, and then it sold back. Pushed up, and then it sold back. And then it does the same thing, so it puts in a pattern sideways and before coming back down. So all we're doing is we're going, okay, this is what's going to happen. It's going to push up, or it found a base where it normally finds the base at. History repeats itself. So it finds a base here, finds a base here, found a base here. We get to push up to where it had a problem last time, and now it's got to build another pattern sideways where it's got to consolidate right here before making its next move up to this part.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in order for it to continue, it just needs to put in another pattern sideways usually before now making another bullish move. So that's what we found to be attractive with NVDA. Now, going back into a lower time frame real quick on where the entry was at, and then we can kind of wrap this up where I can. First off, do you guys have questions up to that point?
No. I understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
It looks good. So we're basically looking for that a little bit of sideways pattern, and then it's going to go back up again. And it's just basically following the same or similar to the same pattern as the previous.
Yeah.
Past several days where it came to the lowest point at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
basically going to follow the same patterns.
It literally does. It follows the exact same thing. Like you will see if you continue to watch the charts that this pattern right here, this is that same 50% pattern. So you will see the same patterns going all the time. So we get the bullish move up, then we get the retracement down, the consolidation sideways, and then the big breakdown to the next one, the next sell area.
Yeah.
Okay. and then here was the demand or supply area. And then you get the pattern sideways before it breaks back down and goes again. So we get the same exact, as long as you know where your support or your supply and demand zones are, the areas, you'll get the same pattern. So for example, you get the big push up. We're looking at the 50%. As long as it holds the 50%, just like this, we are bullish. And then it made its move higher. Now, this is a much bigger pattern, but if we're looking on smaller time frames, once we get this push up, Patty and I was just going over this morning, and we'll go, okay, if we can find the 50%, we can be buyers down at the 50%. And that should make that move higher into the next resistance. And if not, it would just go sideways and maybe until here, and then you could start seeing it roll back over, put a pattern in sideways, and then continue further down. So either way, you were looking for the exact same patterns in either direction or both directions in order to, and if there is no pattern, we just don't get into the trade. So I'm going to go into a smaller time frame, and we're going to use the same 50%, and this is how I knew when to enter the trade. So first, let's go back to the 3-hour time frame. This is the demand zone that we talked about right here. This was alerted in the chat, so you can get an idea. So if I post something in the chat and I'm saying, hey, at 5:30 to 5:33, I think is what the alert was, 5:30 or 5:31, 5:33 is the zone area, or that demand, or excuse me, the supply zone. And then saying that support is down here. I forget what I alerted, 5:20, I think is what I said was support. So once, and the reason why, it never came down to the support that I liked on the smaller time frame. So I had to wait for a move higher and then a pullback. So let's pay attention right here. I just highlighted them. So we're going to go down to a 5-minute time frame, and we're going to get the same highlighted areas. So I like 520 as support. This was the area right here that I was a buyer. So I'll make that green. This is where I preferred to get into the stock. So it would have been a much better win if I would have got a candle wick down and I would have bought here, then make the move up. I could have made a lot more money. But instead, just because of the way NVDA acted and the fact that we were gapping higher and it was holding, same thing. So if we measure this part out, let's see. So if we measure this move up, if this was a candlestick, a move higher, it's all a move higher, it held the 50%, put a pattern in sideways, and now it's making a move higher. Okay, so what we're doing is we know, so on these small ones, for example, we can see all these rejections happening in this area. Remember there was supply there? Remember how we had to go in sideways on a 3-hour time frame?
Yeah.
Like this, we have to go over we have to build a pattern on a 3-hour time frame in order for it to make a move higher. So if we're looking at the 5-minute chart, it has a lot of time. It has several hours to build because we haven't finished a pattern on the 3-hour time frame. So that's what would be resistance. That's why I said I'm getting out of the stock. I don't want to wait in my position 4 or 5 or maybe tomorrow or maybe even 2 days. I would rather just get in and then take my profit and then get out of the stock at this point because nothing's telling us that it's going to continue moving higher as long as it holds and it stays above the 50% on this last candle. So as long as it holds above this 50%, we should continue higher in the stock. We should continue a move to this next resistance up here. So we use the same concept getting into the stock. For example, on the 5-minute time frame, we said that there was a bullish move higher right here. So we have this strong bullish move up and then a pullback to the 50%. So I entered the stock at the 50% level, and then my sell was still in the same exact area. So as soon as it popped up into this, as soon as it moved up, on the bigger time frame was I was basing my trade off of, that's where I ended up getting out of stock. Now this was a very short trade. I usually, when I was talking...
All right, so if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys need help in your trading, if you're not yet profitable, I suggest you click the link and come on over. I want to answer your questions. I want to get to know you as a trader and see where I can help you out. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.